Packing over 10 million residents within cramped urban borders, megacities around the globe are bursting at the seams. As the world's population explodes, certain metropolises bear the brunt of the growth. So, let's navigate the teeming streets and squeeze onto packed public transit to reveal the top 10 most crowded cities on Earth in 2023. From Asia to South America, we'll see these bustling hubs coping with the pressures of density. Just be sure not to get separated from the group as we count down the mega metropolises where finding breathing room is a constant struggle. So hit subscribe and mind your elbows as we venture inside the planet's most populated urban jungles. Number 10. Osaka, Japan. Population 19,013,434. We begin in Japan at number 10 with Osaka, known as the nation's kitchen for its delicious food culture. But cooking isn't the only thing happening in close quarters in this city. The entire Osaka metro area crowds over 19 million residents into just 223 square miles. That's about the size of Chicago, hosting nearly double the people. Suffice to say, personal space comes at a premium. Yet, Osakans adapt with orderly etiquette when cramming into buses and subways. And the lively 24/7 pace of Japan's second-largest city still captivates residents, even as it continues expanding. Just be ready to master the art of the communal cram. Number 9. Mumbai, India. Population 21,296,517. Next up at number 9 is Mumbai, India's famously crowded financial center on the Arabian Sea. Over 21 million inhabitants are jam-packed into this coastal metropolis built on a tiny peninsula. Mumbai's packed suburban trains carry over 8 million commuters daily, with passengers literally hanging out the doors. Meanwhile, its winding, traffic-choked streets creep along at just 2 miles per hour during busy times. With over 70,000 people per square mile, Mumbai exhibits the dichotomy of rich and poor in extremely close quarters. Luxury high-rises overlook makeshift shacks lining the sidewalks. All this density leaves infrastructure sagging under the weight, with frequent water shortages and electricity outages. Yet despite the challenges, Mumbai soldiers on as India's busiest, buzzing megalopolis. Number 8. Beijing, China. Population 21,766,214. At number 8 is China's massive capital Beijing, home to over 21 million residents within a dense urban-suburban sprawl. As China's second-largest city, the scale of growth here has been dizzying. Not that long ago in 1980, Beijing was just a city of 8 million. Its population has nearly tripled since, with millions relocating from rural areas seeking opportunity. Along the way, Beijing has transformed into a showplace of glittering architecture and modern development. Yet rapid expansion also fuels headaches like air pollution, infrastructure demands, and ever-worsening traffic congestion. Still, Beijing continues attracting new residents drawn to its energy and civic pride as it cements its status as an emerging world megacity. Number 7. Cairo, Egypt. Population 22,183,201. Crowding into 7th place is Cairo, the pulsing North African metropolis on the Nile River in Egypt. Over 22 million Cairenes fill this ancient city and its surroundings, making it one of the most congested on Earth. This huge populace fuels mind-bending bottlenecks, with commute times averaging over an hour one-way daily. Yet remarkably, Cairo's infrastructure still relies heavily on decades-old mass transit, like the overcapacity metro system built in the 1980s. Layers of history coat Cairo's 47 crowded city districts filled with crumbling old-world architecture. But this dignity fades in overpopulated outskirts, where many languish in poverty with limited municipal services. Still, Egyptians embrace Cairo as their vibrant, congested capital, exemplifying resilience amid urban pressures familiar to cities across the developing world. Number 6. Mexico City, Mexico. Population 22,281,442. South of the border at number 6 is Mexico City, the primate Mexican metropolis, sprawling over 573 square miles in an elevated valley. Over 22 million live within city limits, and many more reside in surrounding suburbs. This gigantic scale makes public transit a daily headache, though over 4 million ride Mexico City's jam-packed metro system daily. Vehicles cram bumper to bumper on 200-foot-wide avenues in hyper-congested traffic. Adding to urban challenges is the fact Mexico City was built on a drained lake bed, causing parts of the city to sink unevenly over time. But residents adore their vibrant cosmopolitan capital that serves up culture, cuisine, and community. Number 5. São Paulo, Brazil. Population: 22,619,736. Zooming across the equator to number 5, we find South America's largest city, São Paulo, Brazil. Over 1,500 new residents arrive daily, inflating this metropolis to over 22 million inhabitants. That's like squeezing nearly the whole population of Australia into 386 square miles. Such pressing density fuels housing shortages, with many residents occupying dilapidated inner-city high-rises. Meanwhile, São Paulo's notorious traffic congestion clogs over 37,000 miles of roadways. In fact, Paulistanos spend a staggering 154 hours per year stuck in traffic. Yet, despite the crowds, São Paulo emerges as Brazil's sophisticated financial center, boasting superb dining, entertainment, and arts. For those who enjoy urban excitement, São Paulo offers plenty, even if that means sharing tight quarters with 22 million neighbors. Number 4. Dhaka, Bangladesh. Population: 23,209,616. The 4th spot goes to Dhaka, the booming Bangladeshi capital that typifies breakneck development in South Asia. Each year, over 500,000 migrants pour into Dhaka seeking opportunities as it balloons to over 23 million residents. That's quadruple its 1975 population, and the only way to fit so many is building up. High-rises sprout across the city, yet still can't keep pace with housing demand. Much of Dhaka still relies on groaning infrastructure hardly changed since the 1970s. Getting around is arduous, with impossibly congested streets shared by trucks, buses, cars, and rickshaws in a free-for-all traffic melee. Yet Dhaka moves to its own rhythm, pulsating with the resilient energy of a city rushing headlong into the future. Number 3. Shanghai, China. Population: 29,210,808. Bronze goes to Shanghai, mainland China's largest city and the globe's most populous, with over 29 million residents. Situated on the mighty Yangtze River, Shanghai dazzles with its postcard skyline of towering futuristic architecture. But in between the shiny modern facades exists mind-boggling congestion. At rush hour, metro trains disgorge over 3 million passengers total daily. Meanwhile, 12-lane highways turn to parking lots under the crush of China's exploding car ownership. Still, Shanghai emerges as Asia's cosmopolitan heavyweight, enriched by its French concession past. Though cramped living conditions trouble some residents, nothing detracts from Shanghai's luster as a world-class financial dynamo. Number 2. Delhi, India. Population: 32,941,309. Penultimate on the countdown is India's sprawling capital, New Delhi, a city with nearly 33 million residents and bursting at the seams. As one of the world's fastest-growing urban areas, Delhi leads India both politically and as an economic powerhouse. But this prominence comes at a cost, with shantytowns and slums sandwiched between office towers. Delhi's infrastructure is overloaded, evidenced by towering landfills and chronic water shortages amidst the overwhelming density. Smog also frequently chokes Delhi's air from both traffic and crop burning nearby. Yet through it all, Delhi hurtles rapidly toward the future, striving to elevate living standards for all citizens, no matter how crowded it gets. Number 1. Tokyo, Japan. Population: 37,194,105. Finally, we arrive at number 1. the world's most populous metropolitan area, Tokyo, Japan. Over 37 million residents inhabit the Tokyo megacity region, which includes the suburb cities of Yokohama and Kawasaki. This staggering scale means taking transit at rush hour feels like a packed can of sardines. But Japan's capital remains remarkably orderly, with citizens dutifully lining up for jam-packed commuter trains. Centuries-old temples and shrines coexist beside glittering modern towers in Japan's cultural showcase. Though real estate is astronomically expensive, Tokyo offers peerless dining, shopping, and entertainment. Altogether, Tokyo represents the pinnacle of highly populated living, where discipline, innovation, and an embracing of technology allow over 37 million residents to not just coexist, but thrive. Well, there you have it, the top 10 biggest human hives on the planet based on population within city borders. From Tokyo to Cairo, these crowded urban centers face epic challenges housing and transporting their millions of inhabitants. Parts of the developing world in particular grapple with overpopulation straining municipal resources. But whether in order or chaos, humans prove endlessly adaptable, even in the most densely packed cities on Earth. Did we miss any crowded global capitals? Let us know in the comments. And be sure to subscribe to stay updated on more population discoveries as our cities continue expanding. Just mind your personal space.